Hey, daily update today. I was off for the last 2 days just because I have this technology called cold turkey on my computer, which basically lets you turn it off for how long you need for however long you need. And so I activated it for 2 days. It was good, just gave myself my brain a chance to reset. But now I'm back. Um, I'm annoyed by the story of Neil Gaiman. I've read a lot of his books. Neverwhere and American Gods are the two I remember. There's a bunch of other ones though. It's a lot of like dark fantasy or dark urban fantasy type stuff. It's good. It's good writing. But then I hear the stories against him, and I'm like, yeah, this checks out. I can see this happening. It's always like guys like him. It's not actually like guys who are like super like physical that are the creeps. It's always like this nice guy um creep. It's always something like that, like who actually does this kind of bad stuff. Um Now it's annoying to me because I fit that trope like some, which is kind of annoying. I was gonna without the bad stuff. But it's kind of like, God damn, man, can you just like be normal? Do we have to have everybody be like a creep in some way? Or like I don't know if it was actually assault. Like, I don't know, like maybe it was a lot of it could sound like it was consensual BDSM type stuff. Okay, fine. But like, do you have to be weird? Like, come on, man. Like, do you need to be weird about everything? Um, I don't know. Maybe dark paganism is not the answer. Maybe Christian morality is actually pretty good. Maybe, despite its shortcomings. I don't know, man. I just have read enough of his books to be like, yeah, I can see this happening. No, there's been a lot of false accusations over the past few years, but I just don't see what the benefit is for this one. Like some of them, there's been a definite benefit. It's like, oh, a bunch of our cosplayers. Everybody hates a cosplayer because they're assholes. Or, oh, some politician did something, whatever. It's like, okay, I mean, that's a political benefit. This kind of thing, I'm like, nobody was talking about Neil Gaiman. He wasn't in the news at all, except for being a token leftoid, you know? That makes me think it's real. But it is what it is. Finally getting a chance to move more technical, back to more technical work in my job. I was a systems engineer for about 7 months. I might have an opportunity to become a more of a DevOps role. But it's like customer support DevOps, and I'm like, oh no, that's just giving me a really bad feeling. I kind of have to say yes, and that's fine, but I'm looking for a new job right now. Because it just strikes me, it makes me nervous being a role that any role that says customer support. Like I don't want to be in that role that says customer support. Um, but I mean, if I get to May 15th, I'm going to Japan for 2 weeks. I may as well just like get to that point and then be like, okay, jump ship then. Um, get to the 1 year mark. That sounds sensible. Um, but then I'll do that and I won't leave, and then you kind of get stuck in this stupid position. We'll see. And it's also kind of annoying. Like I've done things at work that have had a really big impact that nobody knows. Like I called up one of our testing guys. I mean, can we do a weekly test to see if the project works? And he did it, and he started manual testing once a week, and he caught something immediately. So everybody's singing he's like brilliant. It was my idea to do the weekly manual check. Like I deserve credit for that, and I'm not gonna get any because I don't want to be like, oh, this is my idea. It's like, well, that just looks bad. But like, do people know that I did stuff? Do people know that I had an idea that saved us on something? I don't know. And there's been a lot of those where like I have an idea, it's implemented, and I don't get any credit for it. And I'm like, that's what I'm good at, is I'm good at ideas. And I know that sounds like such a bullshit thing to say, oh, you're good at ideas, you can't do anything. I actually do come up with really good ideas. Or I steal ideas from previous places I've worked. and I don't get any credit for them. And this has happened to me a lot, where I come with an idea and it doesn't actually help my career at all. And then when I make a mistake, because the flip side of being somebody who comes up with ideas is that you make mistakes, because an idea is a mistake in the mind that goes someplace, I get in trouble for that. Now I'm not in trouble for anything at work right now. Like everything at work is just fine. But I'm gonna make a mistake. I'm gonna screw up something. And if you don't get credit for your ideas, you don't get a backstop. Now, the advantage of that is, of course, you keep switching jobs, which means that you end up making a lot more money than a lot of people you know. So it's a trade off. It's like, well, is it really good to keep your job? Or is it better to be switching around? It seems like from watching everybody, you actually get a lot of benefits from switching around. To a point. I'm kind of at the point where I know a little bit of DevOps from the year I worked in my previous job, but it's not quite enough. It's enough to get the interview. And like Palantir, Amazon, Google, it's not enough to actually clinch the deal. And I'm like, God damn it! I want that. I want to be at the peak. I want to be the best, or consider the best. I want to be at the best place. And plus, like, to be honest, I'm on the right to make another $60,000 a year. That'd be nice. It'd be really nice. So it's kind of like, I don't know. And I had an LSAT schedule, but I forgot to actually schedule it. So I registered for it, didn't actually schedule it. It's a different company, which is stupid. So I have to, if I do end up going to law school, it's going to have to wait till like 2026 now, which is way too late for my age. And also, do I want to go like $200,000 in debt for law where the salaries are like 110, 120? I think, yeah, if you get a top salary, sure, but I haven't been studying for that anyway, though. I'm studying Japanese because, I'll be honest, I don't really have a good reason. I'm going to Japan this year, but mostly it's because I watch a lot of anime, play a lot of video games, so I'm like, I might as well know something. Plus, Faith is learning it. Is trying to review it, so I'd like to beat her in Japanese learning, which is also a very bad motivation. But I just hate the fact that I'm like living by myself with my cat. It's like such a watching anime playing video games. I know to a lot of guys that sounds great. Yeah, I guess it's better than being in like a family marriage or being divorced. I guess it is better than that. But it just sucks that that's the comparison you have to make. And it's like kind of big argument with people on Quora. I'm like, hey, somebody conservative, reasonably conservative guy, Ty Doyle, smart guy, making an argument that the reason why people aren't getting married is because men are not doing relatively as well professionally as women. Oh, that's the reason. Bullshit. So I basically wrote a comment to that effect, and I got shit on by basically a ton of people saying that, oh, well, you're a computer programmer. You don't have enough social skills. It's like, that's my point. It's not about professional success. It just isn't. You can't. And also, it's like, okay, so if a guy isn't successful, it's because of that. And if a guy is successful in computers, oh, he's too autistic to be a programmer. Really? Is that really the argument you're going? You're kind of just saying it's men's fault no matter what, then, aren't you? Which is stupid. No, I'm not saying it's not. I'm sorry, the party that can choose has to blame. Now, yeah, I do kind of blame women for the dating crisis, but that's not something I can fix. Some of it is men. Like, I do think there's some predatory men out there. Neil Gaiman is out there racking up his notches in the most creepy way possible. And I guess he probably markets himself as being like a quote unquote nice guy. So it's like, okay, I get where they're coming from. But that's not most guys. Most guys are just like, I just want someone to hang out with. Dang. So yeah, it's really, really weird. Everything's weird. I think I might have a new song idea for orchestra. Other things going on, trying to make my game, trying to learn Japanese, trying not to go insane. I got a beer tonight. I'm trying to go dry for 2025. But some of you just need a beer. I just got one, and I got wings and a beer. And like I wanted another beer. I just stayed with the one. Obviously today was rough because yesterday I drove like 2.5 hours to work. Well, 2 hours to work, and then it was like 2 hours to get to the gym. Then there's no parking at the gym. I drove around the parking lot for like 20 minutes, and then I'm like, screw this. I went home, which was another hour. So like 5 hours of driving yesterday, plus 8 hours of work. That's a lot, and I don't want to do that. But anyway, that's my story for the past few days. Gonna try to keep this YouTube thing going. Probably know if you can see it. See, it's cool. Take a journal. Cheers.